Namaste everyone. Namaste Parikshit ji, Namaste Manu ji.
Namaste Sunil Bhaiya.
Ji, Namaste. So this AICTE follow-up meeting, this has commenced from after the 2020 November, 2020 October AICTE program, which was hosted by the AIC directly to all the students who joined at that time in the first year under the AICTE colleges. So once that 15-session program has been finished, every week, Wednesday, 7:30 p.m. to 8:30 p.m., we have this AICTE follow-up meeting in Universal Human Values. And on Friday, we have this holistic health program from 7:30 to 8:30 p.m. So now what we have been discussing in this Wednesday follow-up meeting is the content of UHV, which we offer in the SIP, the Student Selection Program. Now, in the Student Selection Program is at the annual, because admission process has initiated in many colleges for this 2023-24 year. So this is high time. Teachers have to be prepared for conducting this AICTE program. To be particular in that, the UHV content of the SIP program. So many faculty members are also listening to this content along with the students. You can see the number of students who join the program is little less, but as the students workshop are getting over, so now in this month there is a students workshop, but that is in Hindi. Last month we have a students workshop in English, so some of the students are expected of that workshop to join this follow-up meeting. The importance of this follow-up meeting, as you all know, is to get connected to the content. Many of us, irrespective of whether we are teachers or students, after the workshop may be for 5 days or 6 days, or if it is offline, it is for just 3 days sometimes, or sometimes 8 days. So whatever with the short duration, after that we go back to the same situation, where we have the sensations and preconditionings are there. So we go back to the same system towards those sensations and preconditioning, and there is every possibility for forgetting, or rather getting rid of all the proposals without even verification. This may happen. So connectivity with the content is very much essential. And we have ample opportunities for that. For the faculty members, there are weekly meetings, monthly meetings, other regional meetings are there. And for the students, this is opportunity. Wednesday evening, 7:30 to 8:30 p.m. is opportunity. So we continue discussion upon this, the UHV content in the SIP program. Now, Iladidi has been discussing the content in the previous few Wednesdays. Now she has been discussing regarding society, harmony in the society in the last week. So harmony in the human being, harmony in the family, harmony in society, and harmony in nature and existence. So understanding this harmony in all the 4 levels is what we refer to as right understanding. And living in harmony is fulfillment of this right understanding. So the education sanskar part has been in discussion in the human goal part. So the human goal, as we see here in the slide, it is right understanding and right feeling in every individual, leading towards happiness, continuous happiness in every individual. And such individual, when they form the society, when they form the family, there is prosperity ensured in every family. So prosperity in every family is the second part of this human goal. Then when such families group together to form a society, there is fearlessness in the society, trust in the society. And in the nature also, we can see when the individuals with right understanding are there, with a feeling of mutual fulfillment, with a feeling of mutual prosperity. we can fulfill the coexistence, or rather we can see, observe, and recognize and fulfill this coexistence with every unit in the nature. So this is what we refer to as human goal, and we have been having this discussion upon this human goal. To ensure this human goal, to achieve this human goal, the following 5 dimensions are proposed. And in that, we discuss about the first dimension in detail over here. And the rest of those dimensions like health, self-regulation, production work, justice preservation, exchange storage. We discuss regarding these dimensions in detail in the UHV2 workshop. And for the students, we have been offering this UHV2 workshop in their second year program. So this content will be discussed during that time. So if last Wednesday, we have been discussing regarding the education sanskar part. This part, to be precise. So what is education? What is sanskar? This is the thing. So education is essentially this understanding the harmony at all the 4 levels, right understanding part. Then sanskar is the living part of it, the practicing part of it. So as it is given here, it is education is to develop the right understanding of harmony at all the levels of our being, from self to the entire existence. And sanskar is a commitment, preparation, and practice of living in harmony. Preparation includes learning the skills and technology for living in harmony at all the levels, from self to the entire existence. So essentially, this is right understanding the harmony and living in harmony. This is what we refer to as education and sanskar. All of us start with a sanskar, and then we have this education helping us to enrich our thought processes, enrich our imagination, and that is helping our behavior and work, and hence enriching our right understanding. So when we set this into practice, when our sanskar is getting enriched because of this, that is helping us to live accordingly with these proposals. So this is what we refer to as education sanskar, which we have discussed in the previous Wednesday's meeting. Then we went on to the details of this also, education sanskar, where we have education, developing right understanding. Sanskar is commitment, preparation, practice for right living. Preparation includes learning right skills and technology. So to produce and to have the physical facilities, we require the right skills also, and technology also. So that is why this also is included over here. Then development of the competence to live with different human conduct, discipline to self-discipline. This is also part of this education. And then we have discussed about this right understanding, right feeling, and right skills a little bit in depth in the previous meeting. So the wisdom or clarity about what to do as a human being in oneself, family, society, nature. So clarity regarding what to do is what is included in this right understanding part. And the capacity to live in relationship with the other human beings in the family, society, and the higher orders of the human being. This is what is included in the right feeling part. And right skills are also required for prosperity, for having or producing physical facilities. The capacity to identify the need of physical facility. So prosperity has 2 parts, as we have discussed in the workshop. One is the estimation or requirement, assessment of how much is required of the physical facilities. How much food is required for me, for example, how much clothes are required for me, how many instruments are required for me for nurturing, protecting, and rightly utilizing my body. So the capacity building to identify the need of physical facility, and the skills and practice for sustainable production of more than what is required by way of labor using cyclic mutually enriching processes. That is a feeling of prosperity. So ensuring the feeling of prosperity is the purpose of this having right skills, production, as well as ensuring the feeling of prosperity in oneself. So this is what we have discussed in the previous Wednesday's meeting. So I'll just given a recap of this. If there is any sharing from any of the participants, we can discuss about that. We can take the sharing. If there are any questions also, we can take them. Yeah, mic is given to many of you. So you're welcome to share your takeaway from the previous day's meeting or what we have started discussion right now. Yeah, nice. Anshul, and yeah, Prashant Bhaiya, you have unmuted your mic, so you can go ahead. Okay, nice. Anshul, you have any takeaway? You have been attending the previous day's meeting also? Previous Wednesday?
Yeah, previous I had attended. Good evening, sir, first of all.
Yeah.
And so like I would share that sort of flowing of this in this particular world, it's essential that we should have this right understanding and also the right feeling, and hence we can fulfill the right relationship among everyone, sir.
Nice. Can you go to an example, because you have been exposed to the UHP content for at least more than a year, right? And you have been attending this weekly meetings also. I would say quite regularly, but you would have missed some of them only.
Yes, sir.
Especially during the examinations. That's fine, but when we say right understanding, right feeling, and right skills, or in general education and sanskar, can you give an say example by which you can see any shift or any change in yourself in the past 1 year or 1.5 year time?
Sir, regarding mine, I would say I have always seen the other as myself itself, sir. Like how I would feel certain things itself. I have considered the others also like that. As an example, I would say, sir, in this current scenario where students and teachers have been like they are in a negative mood between each other. Like the student considers teachers as like whatever advice they give, it might be for the negative of this particular student without knowing the fact that the teachers are just saying it because sir whatever teachers says, let it be positive or negative, sir, I take it in a positive way so that I can improve myself, sir. In this current scenario, I would say that that particular trait in students is not that much seen in most of the cases, sir. As far as I have analyzed in particular situations, I have felt that, sir, the students are not uh, as per taking the instructions of the teachers which they have been giving to them, and rather than taking it in an opposite manner, and then they are feeling like the teachers are only opposing them rather than bringing that teachers are bringing them into a good way of life, sir.
Yeah, and so your mic got muted, but I could get what you were telling. I would like to request you to focus upon yourself. What is your change? What is your takeaway? What is your shift over the past 1 year after you attend this UC program? So we can focus upon that. Let us, for the time being, forget about what others are doing, or keep apart what others are doing, other students and teachers. Let us focus upon ourselves. Let us focus upon Ansil, and let me focus upon myself. What is my shift? What is Ansil's shift in the past 1 year? We can focus upon that. So that's what I am asking. Do you see any appreciable change in you in the past 1 year?
Yes, sir. I could say that I have been able to understand more of this behavior of myself towards the others, and also I could analyze each other and also my actions in certain situations after I have been exposed to such UHV contents, and I have been constantly improving myself, sir, in various particular situations which I feel I have to improve, sir.
That is very nice. Nice. Thank you. Thank you for that exploration.
Yeah, sir. Thank you.
So yeah, that is a tangible shift which I can see in Ansel. Ansel is my student. He is in my institution itself, and I was a teacher for UHP for him in the previous year. We have had, but most of the sessions like online only, but very few sessions offline also we could conduct. Yeah, that is nice sharing from Ansel, who is in his third year of BTech Mechanical Engineering. Very nice. So, any other sharing from anybody else? A couple of co-explorers have unmuted, but they couldn't speak. So if they would like to speak, they can. Okay, else we will go forward in the content a little bit. And in the due course of discussion, we can take sharing also of others. I can see many teachers and many regular co-explorers in this meeting. Nice. The mic is passed to many of you right now. All right. Yeah. So if you come back to the content, yeah. Srinivas Gupta ji, namaste.
Yeah. Namaste, Raya. Namaste to all. Hello. Am I audible?
Yeah, Srinivas Gupta ji. Lilita ji, just 1 second. Srinivas Gupta ji has. Yeah. Lilita ji will come back to you. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Over to you, please.
Yeah. Regarding self transformation or the change or shift in self, as per my observations are concerned, because I have gone through all these FDPs and explored myself a lot, and I could be able to become very calm and peace of mind to deal with any sort of situation. But one thing I am unable to feel that much happiness. Suppose if I have my own family members, parents, or siblings, or wife, and all those, if they are, unless they are also same type of happiness, if they won't have such happiness, my mind a little bit become disturbed. Even I understood much better and well, and think back and become calm and quite a stable mind. But that type of the relation, because of feeling of strong feeling of relationship, if I am unable to make them also happy because of their mindset, sometimes it is very difficult to make them convince them and make them feel happy. So such a type of situations leaves my mind also becomes some worrisome, and how to tackle such situations, I am unable to come out from any solution. Or always we have to interact with the people. Without interacting, even though self we are becoming so happy and feel and convince ourselves, but convincing others also very important at the same time, what I feel. So that is the situation in my case, what I have observed, and a little bit visualization in my mind, I feel at least few occasions.
Srinivas Gupta ji, even I would say convincing myself is also not required.
Yeah, not convincing in the sense I could be able to understand. So it is naturally happened to me to feel happy or calm and quiet. But situations in front of us, the relations, because of relationship or some feeling of love or affection or something, if others are the family members or anybody which they are related to us, we strongly desire to have they are also same sort of happiness with us once we live with, together. That is the thing what I would like to.
Yes, that is what we want to be. That is a higher order. Family is my higher order, immediate higher order. So I want this harmony not only in me, but at my higher orders also. And family is the thing which you can see immediately as my higher order. So I work for this. I work for this.
I am doing that.
You are working for this, I am also working for this, but the tangible benefits may be a little far away. What we maybe do is we expect quick responses or quick results, as it is happening with me. So I can see that it is happening with me quickly, rather faster. And I also expect that it is to be so with my family members.
Yes,
but when it's not happening, I'm getting a little bit dejected, rather a little bit in disharmony. Yeah, what you were telling is true. This was happening with me also, because I tried to discuss this with my family members immediately. And then the response which I got was, sometimes it was rejection. Right? It happened. That is fine. But then later what I did is, whenever we are together, maybe sometimes we go for travel, maybe for some family functions. So I just slowly, because from the vehicle, I will be the driver and they'll be sitting inside the car. So they cannot go anywhere for sure. So I slowly start discussion regarding this UHV. Not just starting with UHV, but starting with something else, and then we go into discussion into this content very naturally. And that say triggered many say lively discussions inside the car. I could see that. And whenever I do this offline programs nearby my house, there are many programs which I have been doing in my regional language. I take them. I just request them if you can also attend. That will be very good. So they attend, and they then after the meeting, I ask them, how was the presentation? Was it good? They tell that no, there are some corrections required. You could have given stress to this word, that word, and when you say this, an example could have been much better. So these kind of comments would come. I said, yes, that is very good. I will next time when I present, I will just take care of this. What is happening is, when we have such kind of discussions, the content is going into them slowly. That is what I could see. So what we can do is we can just try to help them. The tangible outcome may not be that much fast. It may take some time, but that's okay, because I can see even in me, this takes much time. In many situations, because of the trigger from outside, I can see I'm going into a state of disharmony. But sooner I go into a state of evaluation, because we are attending the morning session. So that is, the exercises help me to go into evaluation. And I can see I'm responsible for this, and I can come back to this naturally acceptable feelings. So this is happening. That is the shift which I can see in myself. I go into evaluation and coming back to this naturally acceptable feelings. So when this takes so much of time for me, I can see it is going to take much more time for the other. But I can be patient. I can say discuss this, and gradually the tangible benefit will come for sure.
Especially interacting with this elder, age-old people like parents, 75 or 80. They have one set of mindset. It is very hard, difficult to come out from that mindset. Those people. So even with a lot of patience, we try to convince or try to make them understand. Also, it is really a little bit difficult for them to change their this sanskaras. That is
very true. That is very true, because a lot of preconditionings are there. As we are young, it is easy because preconditionings are less. Especially in the case of students, like Anshul, for example, he is my student. So I can see that the preconditionings are much less than that of me. It is easy to change. In the sense that it is easy for him to change by himself because of the less preconditioning. But when we get older, this preconditionings are sensations. Mostly preconditionings get deep-rooted, and that becomes our deep-rooted sanskar. So coming out of that may be a bit difficult. But let us just continue trying this, and that may help the other also.
Sure. I'm doing that. Thank you.
Thanks, Priya. Thank you. Lilita ji has raised her hand. Lilita ji, would you like to share?
Namaste, Bhaiya. Namaste, Sadipo. I am in journey, but I don't know how far I can available through, because of the network issues I am facing. But still, I wanted to share, Bhaiya. Just now I have seen in the previous bus stop, there was some tribal woman. She used to share some like she was selling some of the fruits through some baskets. But whatever the people's inside the bus, we like me, so many peoples are there. We will eat chips or some other things. We will just throw outside. But the tribal lady buses stopped for some time, like 10 minutes. They stopped for tea break, like was a conductor and driver. They'll go no. During that time, just I was observing. That lady, she used to collect all the wastage, whatever the peoples they have thrown from the surrounding, and then she put the same thing to dustbin. Now I felt somewhat because some of the educated peoples they know everything, but still as similar to me, so many lecturers were there, professors were there, even though they ate the thing and they throw it away directly. But that lady, she took everything and she put the same to dustbin. So even though that family of the tribal generally in Karnataka will identify as Halaki peoples, they are dressed up. Everything is so limited, but still they're thinking with respect to this nature. I felt somewhat, Bhaiya. That's what I wanted to share the thing. That Bhaiya.
Nice sharing, Giri. Nice. This is part of education for sure.
Yes,
Right.
yes, Bhaiya. Yes,
So,
Bhaiya.
yeah, as we discussed, the right understanding, this is not having any prerequisite. Yeah.
Yes.
So, having this education, value education, we don't need to put any kind of prerequisite to that. But of course, the language in which we share, that is important. So the person who is the co-explorer who is listening to the content should be able to understand what we speak in terms of language, in terms of the examples, in terms of the content. So like last Sunday, I was talking to a group of people. The youngest among them was studying in LKG. That maybe that small girl would be of age 4. And the oldest in that group is of age 80. So that age difference is of that much, like age 4 to age 80. So if I have to speak in a language which is understandable to this large difference, I mean, this people who are having this very difference in age, I have to be very careful. It is not just like the regional language, but the examples which are suitable for all these people. I have to select those examples also. So yeah, as you are telling is very true regarding the tribal lady. So what she is doing is actually a lesson. It is part of her education, I would say. What she is doing is a lesson for each and every one of us. And it is, she knows the harmony in the nature for sure. That is why she is doing that. And we can take it as a lesson. We can discuss this with our students also. Very nice. Thank you so much for sharing that.
Yes, Bhaiya. Thank you. Namaste.
Nice. Namaste. Yeah, so we have been discussing regarding this. Raghunath ji, namaste. Hand is raised. Please go ahead.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Raghunath ji. Namaste.
Hello.
Yeah, I can hear you.
I need clarification from you, sir. A small question, if you permit me, I put forward, sir.
Please.
Sir, in spite of good preparation, good practice, and good commitment, sir, some people I found they face failures. And they used to discuss with me also, is it because of right understanding, sir, or recognizing whether they had competence or preconditions, sir? Because that failures making the people a little bit pessimistic. Yeah,
You can
that's
see
why.
in fact, I would say there is nothing called failure but experiences.
Yes. sir.
Yeah, sometimes we may succeed in the sense that
Hey.
whatever we intend to do, we may
Yeah.
succeed in that. We may be
Yeah.
successful in doing that particular.
Yeah.
Sometimes we may not. So when we
Yeah.
are not doing that, we can. There is an opportunity for us to check our competence and
Yes,
improve our competence.
Yes,
Yeah,
I
so this
told the same
failures,
thing.
yeah,
Yes. Yeah,
failures
I
we can
told them.
consider like
Or-
yes.
Yes, yes. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I told them that evaluation also, it must be good. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Doctor. Thank you.
Nice
Thank you.
opportunities.
Yeah.
Whatever we ever like, we do this SWT analysis, right?
Yes,
That
sir.
W is for weaknesses and T for threats.
Yes. Yes, sir.
Both these can be converted to O. What is coming in between this W and O, W and T?
Like SWOT analysis, sir?
SWOT analysis. That's what I'm telling.
Yes, sir.
So
Yes.
I can convert these weaknesses into our strength. That's what we say in management, and threats into opportunities. But I would say both these, the weaknesses as well as threats, are can be converted to opportunities.
Yes,
There
sir.
is
Yes.
no word called failure, I would say, but rather we have opportunities or experiences. And
Yes.
there is
They
a
have
chance
to-
for us to improve the competence. Yeah.
Yeah, they have to identify where the minus point, they have to make it plus points. I used to tell all the students. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Nice. So this is something which we can imbibe from sports. Sports people, they
Yes, sir.
meet with failures for sure, but they are not worried about that. Because
Yes, sir.
they know
Yes.
that another game is going to come the next day, and they can learn from the mistakes. They can improve their competence, rather skills, competence, and they can put up a good show next day.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Right. Right, sir. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Right.
Devi ji, Devi teacher, namaste.
Yes, namaste. I think there is time. Okay.
Yes. Yeah, please go ahead.
Yes. Okay. I hope I'm audible. Actually, I want to share one incident which happened to me and between my grandson. Actually, on this last Monday Thursday, so it is a holiday for us, no? So that day, I was hearing that UHV class was going on. That time, I was keeping my mobile in loudspeaker mode and I was hearing that. So my grandson, who is 3+, he asked me, Achima, what you are hearing? Then I told him, so these are this thing in his own language. I shared with him, these are human values, so which we should know, and we have to share good things with our classmates or our friends and like that. And I told him. So immediately he responded, okay, I will also do like that only. Then I asked him what all things he will do. I will, when I am going to my play school, I will share with my friends that I will eat only natural fruits. I won't take this kind of chocolates which are artificial. So then I asked, told him, okay, it is very good. How you are knowing that this fruits are good and chocolate is not good? Okay, Amma told me that this chocolate, if I am eating regularly, that will affect my teeth, my health like that, and he told. So that time only, I remember I was knowing that. So what is the value of this classes, universal human values? I got that point because I am a regular attendee of this universal human value sessions. Rather than sharing some other thing, immediately I shared with him, and that small boy was able to get that point. And I was so happy that, so the way I shared to him also was successful. So the sharing that we are doing is very much helpful. Then in that circumstance, I want to get an answer from Anshul. I think this question will be asked to him. So when he is seeing that his friends are not in line with in whatever expectation that we have, or our teachers or faculty members or guardians like that. So whether so he's little bit affected with this external influences that I came to know from his discussions. But whether he's capable of keeping himself with his right understandings. He got so many things as right understanding. Maybe he may be aware of this natural acceptance and all because he studied this UHV, shared UHV sessions with Sunil sir and all. So whether he is capable of keeping his right understanding as such.
Yes,
without
Ansil.
Okay, good
getting deviated
good
from that.
evening.
Okay. Yes, until yes, they want to hear.
Yeah,
from
ma'am,
you.
I have been close to my friends who have been behaving like that and all, but ma'am, in my case, I can say that I have always keep up that respect in my mind, which should be provided for teachers, and also the person who is elder to me shall be respected. Irrespective of age, ma'am, I would say to the teachers, I have always kept my right understanding
Yes.
and right feeling of relationship between the bond, ma'am, because it's not about the lines which they say at particular mood. They have been teaching us from childhood, and also I have been exposed to certain teachers now, ma'am. So I have always taken particular
Yes.
everyone's comment as positive rather than negative, ma'am. That's why I have felt like I have improved a lot since after joining college, and also
Yes.
since I have seen so much of exposure in various other competitions and also in various other colleges which I went, ma'am.
Okay. So nice to hear from you, Ansil. So keep it up. Okay, always
Thank you.
be blessed. And a great salute to Sunil sir
Yes.
and team for bringing them up like that. Okay. So they are stable now always. That is a very good thing. Okay. Thank you so much.
Nice teacher. Thank you so much. There is a striking coincidence here. Devi teacher, she was a teacher when I was doing my BTech program in her college, or rather in our college. And now, and still, my student is also here. This is a striking coincidence, I would say. Yeah.
Yes. I'm also being a part of that even. So I am contented so much now. Okay, yes.
Thank you.
Being a teacher. Okay, yes.
Though she did not teach me, but I know her when I was a student over there in the college. Thank you. Nice sharings. So we have a lot of interaction so far. Particular thing is regarding the shift of ourselves as a human being through the proposals of universal human values. That is what we have been discussing. So the sharing by Devi teacher was very much close to all of us. We can see that a small child, her grandson, who is 3 years of age, with very less preconditioning for sure, is able to see his able to see things through the natural acceptance, and is ready to share whatever he has learned from Devi teacher to his friends. That is very much evident from their exploration. So this is something which we can take as an example, and when we discuss things with our students also, that small children are having very less preconditioning. It is easy to discuss this content with them, but in a language which is known to them, which is close to them. That is it. Nice. Thank you so much. So if we come back to the content and a little bit go forward in the content, we discuss about this dimensions, human dimensions to achieve the human goal. Education sanskar is the first dimension, which is of course helping this right understanding and right feeling in the individual, and of course the other human goals also. So this dimension 1 is helping this individual level, and when such individual form the family and society, the prosperity and fearlessness, they follow automatically. So regarding the other dimensions like health, self-regulation, production work, justice, preservation, exchange, storage, we discuss in detail in UHV 2. So I do not go into a detailed exposition of that. We will discuss that in UHV 2 when the students come into their second year of the program. Now this is what is happening to a child when he is growing up. So where are we today? This is what we discuss in this particular slide. A child starts imitating at a very young age. He or she does not have, as we discussed just now, any kind of preconditioning. So he starts or she starts imitating his parents or his close relatives. And then this imitation gives way to following, right? Anusaran and Anukaran. So imitation, whatever his father does, whatever his mother does, or whatever someone else does, he imitates that. And then he follows the actions or maybe the language the mother tongue, etc. And then that may lead to this obedience and discipline part. If there is relationship in the family without any kind of contradictions, then that is leading towards this self-verification in the child. And that we have this right understanding in the child. It is easy to ensure the right understanding in the child through education. That is leading towards this self-discipline and self-confidence. But say, as an example, which we say here, like when a father is asking his child, when somebody is knocking on the door, to open the door and say that the father is not here. The child is getting confused because he knows that the father is here. Still, why the father is asking him to tell like this? So he is in confusion. So what the child does is, with this lot of confusion, he opens the door and tells the stranger, maybe stranger or somebody who is known to the father, probably. So he opens the door and tells the person who is outside that my father asked me to tell you that he is not here. So the father is also listening to this. And then the person who came outside is able to identify that the father is there inside. And you can imagine what is going to happen to the child when the father gets him after this incident. So the father scolds the child and tells that, what did I ask you? I asked you to just tell this, but you said what? What did you tell? Yeah, it goes on like that. So the child is getting much more confused. So then when the child starts imitating his father, like when he started telling lies at the age of say 13, 14, 15 or 17 and starts with some kind of intoxication, then the father is not able to ensure this right understanding in the child. So what is happening there is domination. Maybe the father is dominating the particular family, and what is happening in the family may not be a relationship. So there may be kind of arbitrariness in the child. This may happen. Opposition may happen in the child. So we can see such children in some families. Revolts may happen as a teenage, then struggle, war, all these things can be a result. So at the right time, if the children are getting this relationship part in the family and right understanding, if the father, mother, and the relatives in the family, they are working for this right understanding through verifying and validating the proposals, then as David teacher was telling just now, the child also is watching all this. So this imitation, following, obedience part, after that the child will go to the self-verification part with right understanding. And then self-discipline will automatically be instilled in the child and self-confidence will be the result. So the environment in an environment of relationship with parents and teachers having right understanding and right feeling. That is what we see on the left side of this particular chart. And on the right side, what we see is in an environment of domination with parents and teachers having, lacking right understanding and right feeling. So what is desirable? What do you see on the left or what do you see on the right? What is desirable? Is it a feeling of right understanding in the family, or is it a feeling of domination in the family? There was a question in the workshop which is running right now. Yeah, I can see now there are comments in the chat box. Feeling of relationship, right understanding in the family. Nice. Yeah, so the question in the workshop was regarding this relationship. So it was like, how do we control our children? Sometimes it is difficult to control. That is a word which was used by the co-explorer. So to control our children, we have to use some kind of stringent measures. Sometimes we may have to beat them. Sometimes we may have to shout upon them. And unless we do that, the children may not be keeping quiet, may not be obedient. So this was the comment made by us co-explorer. So then the question was, is it right when the children are very young? Don't we need to go this way? I said, okay. So when you do that, what is happening? There is an immediate result. Like the children will be quiet. Okay. So do you think that it is stopping with that, or is it repeating? After that, the cycle is going on once again. The correspondence said yes, it is repeating. And then what you do? You again shout or again scold the children, and this is stopping. Nice. After some time, it is repeating again. So the cycle goes on again. So what the children notices is the behavior. Maybe because of he or she is getting frightened because of the behavior of this parent or the relative, he or she stops it. So we have this this calmness in the family temporarily, but that is temporarily. After some time, this is getting repeated. So there is no education going into the child at this time. But what is going in is this feeling of domination. So when the child gets a chance, he also tries to dominate upon his younger ones or somebody else. Are you able to notice that? Yes. Yeah. Nice. So most of you are able to notice that. At the same time, if we can let them explore what is right for them and what is not right for them, yeah, revolting is a result. That's what Varalakshmi Mama is telling. Very nice. Thank you. So, but if we can let them explore by themselves with a feeling of relationship, if we can tell what is to be explored, I won't say what is right, but what is to be explored as a proposal, there may not be immediate result, but the child will explore for sure, and maybe within a short span of time or maybe within a long span of time, whatever, the result is going to be a self-disciplined child. It will take time, Kavita ji is telling, yes. So there is a long-standing or an effect which is maybe at the far end we can see, but the result is going to be a desirable result, what I want to be, a self-disciplined individual, an individual having this self-confidence, self-referential, that is the result. So this is what we desire. What you see on the left of the screen is what we desire, and what you see on the right of the screen is maybe what is happening in some of the families. This may be what you see on the right, may be my present state. So what I desire or what I want to be is what you see on the left. Varalakshmi Amma is also telling that, but the age of 3 or 4 years, how can they understand? Yeah. Just now, Didi, you listen to Devi Didi's sharing, where she was telling regarding her grandson who is of the age of 3. So they can also understand things, but we need to talk to them in a language which they can understand. Maybe they won't have that much vocabulary, so we can talk to them in the whatever vocabulary they can understand. It is possible to propose some of these proposals to them, and they also will explore, as Deviji is telling regarding food. So what the child is going to tell his friends is what Deviji was telling. So regarding something, say some kind of proposals is there with his or her mind, and this can be shared to the friends also. So what is right and what is not right? So this natural, this differentiation will be there with the child with a feeling of with this natural acceptance. If the child is able to explore things through natural acceptance, the child is for sure the child is able to, but we just need to show him what is natural acceptance. That's it. Not the definition, but how to explore things. What is right for the body, what is right in the self, this we can slowly try to inculcate in the child. It is possible. A child of say 3 years or 4 years, it is possible. The only thing is that we have to discuss them with them in a language which they are able to understand. That's it. Yeah, so this is what we discuss. What is desirable is what you see on the left. A feeling of relationship in the family that will result in self-disciplined and self-confident child, but a feeling of if there is a domination in the family, the result is children with opposition, with revolt, with struggle, and maybe something more than that. So we have examples of all this around us, right? So this is the transformation which we are talking about. We want the next generation to have improved understanding and feeling. So what we see on top is the human consciousness, and alongside that the human goal is also written. So this is our desired state, what you see on top, right top. Maybe my present state may be what we see on left bottom, animal consciousness. I may be working for making this circle which you see here surrounding this physical facility, this circle larger and larger. I'm having a feeling of deprivation. I always try to accumulate more and more. In this case, this circle is getting bigger and bigger. But I'm not I'm not worried about this right understanding part or relationship part. So without having a right understanding or relationship, if I work only for physical facilities, that is leading towards not only my unhappiness, but unhappiness of the other. And not only my deprivation, but deprivation in the nature also. This is the result. So all these things, whatever you see in this black rectangles may happen in human society. Assumptions, money is everything, accumulation by any means, domination, exploitation, mastery over nature, exploitation of nature, everything can happen. The result is unhappiness everywhere, obsession for consumption, for profit, for sensual pleasure, terrorism, war, resource depletion, pollution, all these things can be the result. Or some of this can be the result. We cannot say that as a society, even we can say there is a crowd or battlefield. So from that, we all would like to transform towards this human society, where we have right understanding and right feeling ensured in every individual, leading towards continuous happiness, prosperity in family, fearlessness or trust in society, and coexistence or mutual fulfillment in nature and existence. And this education is helping me in doing that. Right understanding with the first priority, relationship with second priority, with all the naturally acceptable feelings in that, and physical facility with third priority. So the relationship with other human beings is guided by right understanding, that is leading towards mutual happiness, not only my own happiness, but happiness of the other also. And when I have this estimate of how much physical facility is required for me, the requirement, if I can have an assessment of that, and I also know how to produce with my right skills, how to procure with my right skills, then I can have this prosperity within myself and mutual prosperity with the nature also. So this is the desirable state, what you see on right top. This circle is now much bigger, but it is not encircling the physical facility alone, but it is encircling all these three parameters with the priority for right understanding, first priority in that, to that, and relationship, second priority, and physical facility, third priority. All these three are important, but the priority can be like this. That is what we discussed. So we may be somewhere in between in this arrow mark. Those who are ahead of us will help us to move faster, and we can also help those who are behind us, just like hand holding. This is what we discuss over here. And in the case of children or our students, what we expect is this: next generation has improved understanding and feeling. That is what we are working for. So this is essentially what we have been working for, this universal human order, harmony in society. So when we try to achieve this human goal, and when we reach there, then there is no division in any of the societies. There is no division in any of the orders. Yeah, Kavita ji is typing a question in the chat box: how to handle addiction in students? That's a very important thing. This addiction can be for many things, not only for intoxication. It can be for like mobile phone addiction, or some other addiction to maybe some kind of an activity. Yeah, we can have discussion with them. You can let the students to attend the workshop, or at least one session, like every week like this, and let them listen to some of the proposals. So this addiction is basically because they consider themselves as a body, because they find pleasure through sensations. Even if it is watching something, or if it is mobile addiction, this is a sensation. So the sensation is giving them pleasure, at least for some time. And this pleasure they consider as happiness. If it is intoxication, this also is giving them some excitement for some time, maybe for a small period of time. But later they see that whatever that was there with them is coming back. Whatever exploration they had before this intoxication, it is coming back. And this so-called happiness, so what they consider as happiness, is gone with that. There is no continuation. So the hormones are, happiness hormones are produced through any kind of addiction. That's why people go into such kind of addictions. Even people go behind this alcohol or say smoking. This also is giving, producing some hormones which give them some kind of a pleasure, but just for a small duration. But after that, once this effect is gone, suddenly they go into a state of depression. So we can bring the attention of the students to this natural acceptance and let them see things through natural acceptance. But it may take time for sure. And the health part of this discussion, we can deliver the content of the health part a little bit in detail to them. What is required for a healthy life, the intake routine part, the exercise part, labor exercise part. So instead of going for medicine or treatment, it is always good to be at that block A, where we have intake routine, this labor exercise and postures for regulated breathing, etc. So this can be brought to their attention, this circadian rhythm, all these things can be brought to their attention, but slowly. So what is required for a fulfilling life, we can bring this into their attention. And who is a human being, that's also very important. Whether the human being is body alone or human being is coexistence of self and body. So this is missing in them. Human being is coexistence of self and body may be missing in them. So we can let their attention to this natural acceptance and see things through natural acceptance. Yeah, Ansel is typing, promoting self-awareness to everyone, letting them know the sensation is temporary and feeling of goodness and happiness within oneself is permanent. Making them understand that they are deteriorating themselves, getting into these activities, making them know all the required things by providing them knowledge based on natural acceptance. Yeah, true, Ansel, nice exploration, very good. Essentially, this understanding human being is very important. Understanding human being as self and body in coexistence, and looking through the proposals in that line. Yeah, so we have a hand raised. Let us see. Yeah, Kavita ji, mic is not with you. Now mic is with you, provided you. You can speak.
Hello, sir. Am I audible?
Yes.
Hello.
Yes.
Am I audible?
Yes,
yeah.
You're audible.
So I just posed to this question. I mean, it's all correct that when the student is able to understand with right understanding and all those things, but the student is not at all in that position to understand all that, because he has got into a phase of enslavement where he's totally guided by the sensations. So how would it be to go and shift that person? I mean, would you think that he would be in a position to understand things?
The best way is to seek the help of other students who have this or who are working for understanding, like what Ansel is telling. Ansel is a student. There are some students like that also, so we can seek the help of those students. rather than we helping them directly. It is good to go reach them through other students. That is one of the ways which I feel like.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Anyway, so the content has to reach them some way or the other. So it may take time. Maybe initially there may be rejections from them altogether, but we have to be patient. But anyway, the natural acceptance of every human being is to verify these proposals. But for somebody, it may take very little amount of time. For somebody, it may take long time. That is all. This has been we discussed with these criminals who are in the jails also. There are plenty of say jail inmates who were criminals earlier converted to volunteers now of this UHP. This also is happening, but it takes time.
All right. Because right now, this is what students are so much into these unnecessary habits. So this is what is spoiling them a lot, that to the current generation. So probably this correction has to be done in every setup in every college and every university.
True. So it is high time for us teachers to have this verification of the proposals, validation in our life. And when we discuss this with the students, we have to live by the proposals. So they look at what we are doing, not what we are speaking. Very important. So when we scold the child, when we scold the student and says that no, reaction is bad and response is good, do they understand what is his response? Yeah, just like that. So living by proposals is extremely important, and they learn by what the teacher is doing, not by what the teacher is telling them. Nice.
Nice. Thank you for you.
Yeah, so we stop here. The time is already up. So we discussed about this human goal and the systems or dimensions of human order. So we start with the individual to family cluster, to village cluster, to nation, to world family. And that is what we refer to as universal human order. All the orders in the nature are in harmony. That is what we refer to. So these numbers are also like that. So 10⁻⁴ may be the maybe a family, the number of members in a family. And when it goes like family, cluster, village, etc., the number may go up to 10², up to 10⁻⁻. That is a world family. So this is what we want to be. This is what is the desirable state. Let us all work together, as Kavita Didi was telling. This is high time for all of us to work together with our students, with the nature, with the society, and then of course with the nature. Yeah. So this is what we have been discussing with regard to the harmony in the society, and in the next meeting we will start discussion about harmony in the nature. Thank you so much for the participation, for your interactive and enriching participation. We will meet next Wednesday at 7:30 p.m. Thank you. Namaste.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Thank you, Sunil Bhaiya. Namaste, everybody. Namaste.
Namaste, Parikshit. Namaste, Sunil. Namaste.
Yeah.